Recently, devotees kindly sent me, my disciples kindly sent me some written offerings of appreciation in what's called a Vyasa Puja book. Now, some might object to there being such things as a Vyasa Puja book. I'm not going to get into that here. I just wanted to quote from one offering that was sent to me. This is from a youngish devotee, Radha Paramasundari Devi Dasi, from Nepali background, married. She's still married, but she was living with her husband in Sharjah, which, for the benefit of those of you who don't know, Sharjah is just next to Dubai, and mostly it serves, people in India know because of the cricket matches there, right? They know. But apart from the stadium, the main activity there is sleeping, because people go, they live in Sharjah and they commute to Dubai for work and they work all day and they come back and sleep at night in their apartment in Sharjah. So she was living there with her husband, like that, for some time, practicing Krishna consciousness as well as they could, in some dingy little flat. Although for most Indians, they think if I can go to Dubai, get a job in Dubai, my life will be so much better. But the reality, it was a grungy kind of life. Of course, they were chanting Hare Krishna, but as far as the material side, it was miserable. The material world is miserable, but it was miserable in a Dubai-ish kind of way, or just something that's very common in Bombay also. People, they live at the edge of the city, they commute, then they come back at night, and miserable life. So anyway, she, which means with her husband, has resettled in India on one of our farms, the farm we call Nandagram in Gujarat. They have 2 young daughters, and I'm going to quote from her offering to me, in which she's venting a bit her discontent about... Anyway, I'll read it and you'll see. This is what she wrote. 50% of Srila Prabhupada's mission was left unfulfilled. Talking about establishing Varnasrama. 50% of Srila Prabhupada's mission was left unfulfilled, and no one bothers in ISKCON except a few strict followers of Srila Prabhupada. They are not having faith in Srila Prabhupada's words, even though Srila Prabhupada said, Varnasrama must be introduced. Simple living, high thinking. Produce your own food and own cloth, and save time for chanting Hare Krishna. Our mission is to protect our devotees from unnecessary work, etc. So she's quoting some of Srila Prabhupada's key quotes on the farm and Varnashram projects. She continues, and most of the ISKCON senior members think they are sincerely following Srila Prabhupada. How Maya's trick is that? It is very clear for anyone who reads Srila Prabhupada's books how important are the Varnashram communities. It is so conducive for a devotee's life. I pray that I be not attacked by Maya and think that I am pleasing Srila Prabhupada while I am doing the opposite. I pray to your lotus feet that all those devotees directly or indirectly engaging in fulfilling Srila Prabhupada's mission sincerely get all protection and strength to continue their services. So you might think it's, well, a bit overboard, but she's upset about something in particular, and I'll go on to read about that now. I heard a PowerPoint presentation titled How to Mess Up Your Life with Varnashram was done at Mayapur. That's very sad news for me. Did they ever ask those members who are living in the farm communities, especially under your guidance, how is their life experience? Without doing that, how could they make such a PPT, PowerPoint presentation? If at all I get the opportunity, I want to express how happy we are here. And we never have any desire to go out of this place. By your mercy, we feel like we are in the spiritual paradise, because we have a better life here compared to the city, which is materially better. Also, spiritually, full-time devotees association and full-time services to Krishna. So materially and spiritually, we are in the best place. What else do we need? We are very blissful here because we are happy from when we are happy from inside, the physical discomforts, like not having electricity, fan, gadgets, shopping and cooking in a gas stove, we have to collect wood. All this becomes a very minute part of our life because we are actually happy from inside. And that is how Krishna lives in Vrindavan. If we are inspired to serve Krishna in Vrindavan, should we not imbibe those lifestyle, happily living in the land, protecting cows? We don't need artificial life. Our only entertainment here is attending artis, attending Bhagavatam classes, and associating with devotees by keeping Krishna in the center. It's quite strong, quite vocal. I do disagree slightly with one thing in which he said that the city life is more materially comfortable. In some ways, yes, but in the village there you get fresh air, fresh water, fresh food, fresh mind, happy people to live with. So okay, you don't get the electric fan, but so there are some physical discomforts, but overall, even materially it's better. You're going to be more healthy than living squashed up in some apartment, and when you open the window, all the polluted air comes in. It's a valid point she makes. You come and see. If you don't believe it, come and see. Prabhupada said it works. We're doing it in a very primary way. We have a lot of improvement to make, no doubt. But the basic formula is very simple and it works. Maybe counterintuitively. Maybe we think that, well, all this idea of going to farms doesn't make sense. We're city people, blah, 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 blah. Believe what Prabhupada says. He is Paramatma Samahita. He's in contact with Krishna. He knows what is best for us. That's why we accept a guru. He tells us what we need to do. If we already knew, then we wouldn't need a guru. So he has recommended that we as a society, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, establish farm communities, simple living and high thinking, so that grihastas, they can escape the hellish city life and associate with devotees full time, all day, every day. And the center of their life is not that they give all their time practically just for working to get some money to live, but their life centers around their spiritual activities of coming together and hearing and chanting about Krishna. And everyone has some work to do in the day, and devotees come together 3 times a day for congregational hearing and chanting about Krishna. So materially, life is much simplified, and spiritually, it's much, much, much enhanced. They get in one day more spiritual associations, spiritual programs than probably they'd get in a whole week previously. So please come and see, and don't make presentations which almost seem to be like you're slapping Prabhupada in the face. Prabhupada so much wanted this Varnasrama, and the only thing you have to say about Varnasrama after all these years is how to mess up your life with Varnasrama. As if Varnashram's just something which is going to... Okay, there may be problems in the misrepresentation, but why take such... When Prabhupada wanted this, you've done nothing after all these years to establish Varnashram, and now you're beginning to talk about it, and all you can do is badmouth it. Do you hate Prabhupada? You don't believe in what he says? You think you've got a better idea? That's the problem. You don't want to do it, and you're saying, oh, there's so many problems, you'll mess up your life, blah, blah, blah. Just do what Prabhupada says. You'll be blessed. If you want to be envious of him, then just go do it somewhere else. Don't come inside. This is Prabhupada's movement. You shouldn't come inside Prabhupada's movement and speak against the very things that he wanted to establish. And then you say, well, no, we won't. Actually, I'm for Varnashram, but look at the title you make. The title of the seminar in itself is already prejudicial against Varnashram. And then you wonder why people are upset. Well, anyway, one good reason to go to these farm communities is to get away from rascals who pose themselves as representing Srila Prabhupada, but all they want to do is spoil his movement and by introducing all kinds of things which he was against and not doing the things that he wanted to do. So that's one very nice thing. If you get away from the internet and all these things and chant Hare Krishna and be happy and preach in that way by showing that what Prabhupada says can work and does work if we simply follow it in all respects, in everything. We should do what Prabhupada says. One thing is to live happily on the farms, live simply, chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Hare Krishna.